Jai Jinendra. Jai Jinendra dear.
Jai Jinendra ma'am. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra ma'am.
Jai Jinendra. How are you all? Do the prayer, please. Namo Arahantam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Airiyanam. Namo Vanchayam. Namo Loe Sarvasamunam. Eso Panchanamo Yaro
Sarvabhavapancham Mangalam Sasavesim
Padam Ohi Mangalam. Yes, we are doing Moksha Marg Prakashak, chapter 8. Any doubts from last class? Anybody who has studied, reflected, any inquiries? I'll wait for a minute.
I have a doubt, ma'am. Saurabh here.
Ah.
Actually, there are two. One is I wanted to understand what is Margana. And the second one is on page 270 in the Hindi book. On the paragraph number 2, it says, Tatha jo jeev tatvagyani hokar is karnanuयोग का अभ्यास करते हैं. That particular paragraph, I was not able to understand what he was trying to say.
Okay. I'll explain it. Margana means dhundna. Margana means khoj. Okay. Like for example, you want to study about the jeev. So under what headings you will study? How many bodies it has, how many gatis are there, how many jatis are there, how many kashai, how many karm, how many gunasthan, etc. So these headings are called as Margana.
Okay. Okay.
Under which you understand about the Jeev Tattva.
Right.
Okay. So
are we going to study in the detail of Margana?
We are going to study in little detail in Gomatsar.
Okay. Thank you.
Gomatsar we are going to study a little. And if you want to study more, you should refer to Tattvarth Sutra and its commentaries.
Okay.
Gomatsar. Immediately, if you want, you can see. So
okay.
There are 14 Jivasthan, 14 Marganasthan, and 14 Gunasthan.
Okay.
Under which the topic of Jeev is discussed.
Okay.
Like that, you have to understand the meaning of Margana. Margana is 14. Gati,
so all
Jati,
the 14 would be different to each other, is it?
Yeah, that's what Gati, Jati, Sangya, Gyan. Is headings में वो 14 आते हैं. If you want, I can give you their names straight away.
That would be nice, ma'am. Thank you.
Names. 1 second. Just give me a minute. I'll get my book.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm having with me 2 books. One is a very beautiful book, Gomatsar, in chart form, which you will study in 5th year. ये सब pages आप देख रहे हैं.
Yep.
5th year में आप पढ़ने वाले हैं. And another one is Tattvarth Sutra by Keval Muni. Shwetambar. This Digambar, this Shwetambar. So इसमें भी और उसमें भी मार्गणा के नाम दिए हुए हैं. Okay. So if you want, you write down 14 मार्गणाओं के नाम on page number 1, गाथा number 142 of Gomatsar. Okay. Gatha number 142 of Gomatsar. I'm just taking out. 142. First is Gati, Indriya, Kai, page number 76 of this book. Gati, Indriya, Kai, Yog, Ved, Kashay, Gyan, Sanyam, Darshan, Leshya, Bhavyatva, Samyaktva, Bhavyatva, Samyaktva, Sangi, and Ahar. These are the 14 headings. And there are some Upamarganai and other headings also you have.
Okay.
Okay. There
Thank you,
are
ma'am.
8 Santar Marganai. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. And what was your second question? That paragraph.
270 page number.
Yeah. Page number 270. English में क्या page number है? Please बता दीजिए सबको.
I haven't referred to English one, ma'am.
Okay. So what did I'll tell you people. Chapter 8, page number 3 or 4. Karnanu Yog Prayojan. The purpose of Karnanu Yog. Paragraph number 2. I think this will help you to fix it.
Yeah.
What they are saying is, see, when we say Jeev Tattva, what do we understand? Very few things. Now
yeah.
that you are exposed to Jain studies, you will understand more about Jeev Tattva. But without these studies, when we say Jeev, what you will simply understand? Simply,
A living
One
being.
which, yeah.
A living being, a person who breathes, a person who senses, a person who feels. Only that much we'll understand. But when you study the 8 karmas, when you study Gunasthan, Leshya, and all these mathematical involving things, no, when you study, no, you will study in detail about the Jeev. So they are called the Visheshtai.
Okay.
है ना?
Okay.
So जो जीव तत्वज्ञानी जीव who does the abhyas of Karnanu Yoga, he will understand the peculiarities, specialities, uniqueness of the different tattvas.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And then so in the Jivadi Tattva, he understood that I am a Jeev. But what kind of Jeev I am, he will understand when he studies Dravyanu Yoga and Karnanu Yoga very deeply.
Right.
Both, he has to study both. Okay. So, and then in that Karnanu Yoga, there are many things which are very striking from the Nishchay point of view. And many things are told from the Vyavahar point of view. Like,
Right.
for example, do the 8 karmas belong to the Jeev? So Dravyanu Yoga will say no.
Yeah.
Karnanu Yoga will say yes.
Right.
From the Nishchay point of view, no. From the Vyavahar point of view, yes.
Yes. Right.
Just because if they don't belong to you, then why do you suffer? Why do you go from one gati to another?
Right.
Why do you pay for the karmas that you do if they don't belong to you? So in a way, they belong to you. But if you want to go for self-realization, you have to unko bhi gaun karna padega.
Right.
Then only you can focus on the dravya and understand the dravya, which is beyond all this, and then realize it. And then get rid of the karmas.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that is the step. So, and then they will explain in the Karnanu Yoga from Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav of every Dravya. So under Dravya, you have Dravya. So all this we are going to study in the Nyaya Shastra, which we will study in the upcoming semesters. Okay. Very beautifully, you'll study the divisions of Nishchay ne, Vyavahar ne. Usme Dravya ke andar Dravya, wo sab wahan par aayega. Okay. There I will explain it. Okay. So Dravya. So like when I say, like for example, when I say mobile. So from the Dravya point of view, this is a mobile. Kshetra point of view, it is occupying this Akash Pradesh. Yeah. And it is in its own Pradesh. Kal, this is the time in which it is in this form. Next minute it falls down, it breaks, its form changes. Bhav, what is the Bhav? All the hardware, software that go into this is the Bhav of this Dravya. Of this Dravya. So like that, you will understand the Jeev from the Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav point of view. You'll understand karma from Dravya Kshetra Kal Bhav point of view. And the other
Right.
6 Dravyas, like that, you have to understand. Okay.
Right.
Then many things happen because of the Nimit. The karma and Jeev are associated because of the Nimit Nemitic Samman, not Karta Karm Samman. So like that, all these discussions come under the Karnanuyog Karnanuyog. Okay.
Okay.
And in
Okay.
many, and then he says Ityadi. Ityadi means etc. There are many, many ways to understand the Jiva. All those are discussed under Karnanuyog. So you should do the Abhyas of Karnanuyog and come closer to reality.
Okay. Okay.
Huh.
Now you
Yes.
did mention that these are not separate texts, but one text would have all of them as well.
Yes, they are ways of looking at a text.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So like, for example, you're studying the biography of Mahavir.
Yeah.
You're studying the biography of Mahavir, it is Prathamanuyog. But in that, you will discuss the do's and don'ts that Bhagwan Mahavir did. So that is Charnanuyog.
Yeah.
Then Bhagwan Mahavir also, unke bhi karm ka uday, karm ka nash. So that interpretation is Karnanuyog.
Yeah.
And then what was he doing in meditation, that deep philosophy, deep spiritual understanding, that is Dravyana.
Yeah.
Likewise, you have to understand.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Anybody else? Any other question?
I have a basic question. If you can just explain what is a Margani?
I just now told Margana means
Sorry.
ways of searching about the Jiva Tattva. Ways about searching. Jैसे, for example, okay, supposing you want to go to Delhi, or you want to go to any other place, you'll fix up any other place in your mind. Will you not search the marga by which you can go and reach over there?
Okay.
Understood? In the same way, you want to know about the Jeev. So what marg you will search to know the Jeev? So these are the marganas.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Read these marganas and understand the complex multi-dimensional Jiva Tattva.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
And this Jiva is found in 14 places, 14 Jiva Sthan. In Pachis Bol, in Jiva Tattva, you have 14 divisions. If you want, you can write down.
Yeah.
If you want, you can write down.
Sure.
Ekindriya.
Yeah.
4 divisions.
Yeah.
4 divisions में आएंगे, क्या आएंगे? सूक्ष्म बादर, पर्याप्त अपर्याप्त. Sukshma, Badar, Paryapta, Aparyapt for one sensed.
Okay.
2, 3, 4 sensed, only 2 divisions. Paryapta, Aparyapt.
I'm slow, ma'am. Slow, ma'am. We are writing it down, please.
Ekindriya, one sensed organisms can be either subtle, gross, developed, undeveloped. These are the 4 meanings of the 4 words I told.
Okay.
Then 2, 3, 4. They are called Vikalendriya. They will be of 2 types, either Paryapt or Aparyapt. And Panchendriya, again 4 types. What are those? Sangi, Asangi. Sangi means with mind, Asangi without mind, Paryapt, Aparyapt. ये हो गए 14 जीवस्थान. And then 14 Gunasthan. Ho gaya? Clear? Jivasthan. So these are the basic Karnanuyog which should be on your tips. So Pachis Bol with 563 divisions of Jeev, all this in Shwetambar tradition सब रट्टू मार लेते हैं हम लोग बचपन में ही. कुछ समझ में आए नहीं आए. But it will be very interesting, you know. अच्छा ऐसे होता है, ऐसे होता है, ऐसे होता है. All it will be so nice, you know, to memorize all these things. So that's why it should be good. You should memorize so that you can recall it when you need it. So that you can recall it when you need it. Supposing you're traveling in a bus, you don't have a book, you don't have a newspaper, you're feeling idle. Oh, that time you revised all the Pachis Bol in your mind. You revised all the Jivichar. In Shwetambar Murti Puja tradition, it is called Jivichar. In Stanakwasi Terapanthi, it is called 25 Bol. Likewise, in Digambar tradition, we have the Jain Tattva Praveshika. So you should read all that. And no need to question, just you go into it, allow it to grow on it. Then that becomes like a light, you know, जो आपके पूरे अंधेरे को चीरता हो जाता है ना, which will throw light and tear open all the darkness. And then mind will become sthir, and then you become receptive to get the deeper things of Dravyanuyog. So try, friends, try. Every day memorize at least 1 point. Gati 4, Jati 5, Indriya 5, Yog 15, Upyog 12, Karma 8. The more you memorize, your aging will be delayed. This is a medical fact. Why I'm saying is, when you're 30 plus, 7,000 or some cells, memory cells become weak each day. But when you keep memorizing, these memory cells don't die out. So when your memory cells don't die out, you're aging. Old age, maybe forget things. Then people get all these Alzheimer's, dementia, and all these kind of things, you know, wo jo haath paun dhujta hai, vagara vagara. So these things will not come if you are, and when you memorize, no, you are not that impulsive. तो आपके कषाय भी कंट्रोल में होते हैं, मंद कषाय होता है. मंद कषाय होने से आपके cells are calm and quiet and they live longer. See where I'm linking where.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's a fact, it's a fact, it's a fact. I'm not telling anything on my own. Over so many years, I have done so much of research, read all these things, found all these things, and then I do the integration. That's how it comes. Okay, chalo. So all of you will memorize something or the other, because there is so much. When I was a child, I remember my daddy would tell, you know, Gyan kanthi mein or paisa anti mein. In those days, there were no credit cards and banks and all that. So people pardes jate the kamane ke liye, they would go to far off lands to earn. So they would carry little money with them. And where they would keep it? In the anti over here. Anti, you understand? Inge would potli cutting vikpangalia, old grannies and all that. And gyan kanthi mein. Kanthasth gyan hi aapke kaam aane wala. Because see, munis, no, they memorize. They memorize. They don't carry granth also with them. They are near granth. Then don't carry any books with them. They'll go to a place, they'll take some book from the Shravak, read it and give it back. Then on the way in the forest, they need it, means where they'll go. They'll recall from their memory. You understand? So you all know the dincharya of a sadhu. You want to write down? Write down.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Shobha madam, do you know the dincharya of a sadhu? See,
I recently read Acharya Vidyasagar Muniraj's Dincharya, ma'am. He gets up at 1:30. Until 3:30, he does meditation. And then after that, he has charcha with his fellow munis and like that it goes. And then he gives a pravachan around 9 o'clock to others. And then at 9:30, 9:45, he takes ahar. And then he does, after ahar, he does samayik. And then after samayik, he does swadhyaya, and then again it is charcha with the munis, and evening is pravachan. This is how, and they sleep only for 2.5 hours, 11 to 1:30. This is what I recently read of Vidyasagar Muniraj's Dincharya.
He is like a 4th ara sadhu. 4th ara में कैसे साधु होते थे, वैसे साधु है विद्यासागर जी. So alert, so smiling, and so committed to his to following the Charnanuyog and his Mok Mati and all I have read. very deep, very profound, very good. So
And
what?
I also remember from our study, first year study, where Mahavir Swami is telling what all the Muni should do. I remember one thing very clearly, that he said a Muni should walk 5 kilometers in a day. And he should not stay in one place for more except for Chaturmas and
Yes, yes.
these are the general, they are not in the Dincharya, but they are the general thing. But in a day, he said that he should walk 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers पढ़ा हुआ शास्त्र में मुझे याद नहीं है.
5 kilometers or 5 kad or something, it was there, ma'am, in Acharang Sutra. We studied in one of the chapters.
लक्ष्मी देखो.
In one of the
Okay.
chapters in Acharang Sutra, where he gives the rules for the thing. I remember reading
But
this.
5
It has got
kilometers कहीं नहीं
some-
पढ़ा है. But yes, 5 kilometers I don't remember having studied that number. But yes, he should do that much vihar and all that. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, write down morning 6 to 9. Say sunrise is at 6. 6 to 9, Swadhyay. Just give me a minute, I'll be back. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, now we'll start the class. Swadhyay, then Dhyan. Then again comes, what to say? 6 to 9 is Swadhyay, 9 to 12 is Dhyan, 12 to 3 again Swadhyay, then again 3 to 6 Dhyan, then again Swadhyay, evening 6 to 9 again Swadhyay, then 9 to 12 again Dhyan. Wait. One of the Dofarka now, again you have to do Gochri, Avashyak Kriya. Remove that and write 9 to 12 to 3 will be the Avashyak Kriya. And then evening again Dhyan, first Swadhyay, then Dhyan, then Nidra. Swadhyay, Dhyan, Nidra, again Dhyan. So what I'm trying to say is, it will be 12 hours of Swadhyay, 6 hours of Dhyan, 3 hours of sleep, and 3 hours of nature call, food, etc. That total has come.
Can you repeat the breakup, ma'am? I'm sorry, we missed it. 12 hours of Swadhyay, 12 hours of Dhyan.
It is coming, ma'am.
No. 12 hours Swadhyay,
3 hours sleep,
6 hours of Dhyan, 3 hours of sleep, 3 hours of Avashyak Kriya.
Yeah.
So evening 6 to 9, first they'll do all the pratikrama and everything that comes under Swadhyay. Okay. Then 9 to 12 they'll meditate. Then they feel sleepy, they'll have take some rest. 3 hours of sleep is enough for a yogi. 6 hours for a bhogi. And if we are a rogi, we'll sleep more than 6 hours. Okay. And the more you eat, the more bhog you do, the more sleep you will need. The less bhog you do, the less sleep you will need. Okay, there's a direct connection between your lifestyle and your sleep and your karmas and your spiritual evolution.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Connect between your food, lifestyle, your sleep. See, the more you sleep, the more Darshnavarniya karma you are binding. And the less you sleep, the Darshnavarniya karma you are destroying. Okay. So now, today, we have to study from page number 271 of the Hindi book. Please tell the English book page number to people. The Vidhan of 4 Anuyog. Vidhan means methodology. What is the word given in your book? First, we studied the Prayojan of the 4 Anuyog. What is the purpose of the 4 Anuyogas? Now, the second heading is Vidhan. Vidhan means methodology. What is the methodology of each Anuyog? Anuyog means what? Anuyog means Adhikar. Adhikar means, like for example, those who live in India, the constitution gives them the rights, Adhikar. So, yahan par Adhikar means chapter. In Karnanuyog, this is the Adhikar. These are the things that will be discussed. In Charnanuyog, this is the Adhikar. These are the things will be discussed. Like that. So now, today we are going to study the Vidhan or the methodology of the 4 Anuyogas. First of all, we should understand why this 8th chapter talks about Anuyog. Only when you apply the Anuyog, the 7 chapters were talking about Mithyatva, no? That Mithyatva will go. And after 8, they are going to talk of the path of moksha. Then only you will come on the path of moksha. That's why this is placed over here. Okay, so with this methodology, you should understand and come on the path of Samyak. So with this methodology, you have to interpret the philosophy of Bhagwan. Okay, they could have introduced this in the first place itself. But then people are in Mithyatva, they won't understand this terminology. They won't understand this terminology, Anuyog, Tattva, Karnanuyog, which is very, very, all the entire Jain philosophy is discussed through the 4 headings of Anuyog. So to visit the philosophy, you need this tool. Like, for example, you want to cut a tree, you need a sharp axe. If your axe is blunt, you cannot cut. In the same way, your Shastra Gyan is the axe. But if your Shastra Gyan is not having this methodology, it is blunt. You cannot understand the philosophy. That's why they are making our Shastra Gyan ka tool sharp by giving us this Anuyog methodology. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. First, they are going to talk about Prathama Anuyog ke Vyakhyan ka Vidhan. So you have to understand that in Prathama Anuyog, they talk about biographies, narratives, incidents, stories, illustrations, etc. But these illustrations will not be the way it happened. For example, Indra came and praised, eulogized Bhagwan. So he must have done it in his words. But how will the narrator tell us how did Indra eulogize? That is the liberty of the author who writes the eulogy, which will not be as it is what Indra must have done, but the prayojan will be the same. You understand? Okay.
Yes,
so the
ma'am.
narratives know how they happened in a sequence, and all that cannot be told by any author, because that is Keval Gyan Gamya, and whatever has come down to us through Anuman, through inference, and through Shruti Parampara, many things have lost in the oral tradition and in memory and all that. So whatever is there, the author will interpret and understand and write. So that is the Vidhan of Prathamanuyog. Okay. So, but the prayojan will be the same. Now, for example, he's describing a battlefield. But on that battlefield, this was the Sena, this was the army, this many elephants, this many things. So, do you think he'll give you the exact description as it was when that battle took place? No. So these are all constructs. These are all constructs based on some facts. Okay, that you have to understand. Okay, now,
one before you go on, you said Sha means tool. Huh? Sa means tool. When you were talking about Shastra,
what did I say?
You just now said Sha is the tool of the Shastra. No?
I don't know.
Okay.
Axe, you know, AXE, axe. You need an axe to cut the tree or any log of wood. But if your axe is not sharp,
Okay, right.
Not sharp, then you can't, your purpose will not be solved.
Okay.
So in the same way, if you don't know the way to read the scriptures, you will not get out of it what you want. Or it will take a longer time.
Okay. I must have missed that.
Or you may not get it. You know, sharp.
Yeah. Okay.
So this Anuyog study makes your
mind sharp.
Not mind sharp, your Swadhyay sharp. Your Swadhyay is focused and in the right direction, and then you can get out of the scriptures what you have to get.
Okay.
And then your Gyan becomes right, your Shraddha becomes right, your Charitra becomes right, and you're on the path of moksha.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So somewhere they'll be talking about in Dharma Pariksha Grantha, they talk of some fools story of some fools. So So do you think the story, when the fools were there, when they did the pariksha or what, they would have done it as it is narrated in the text? No. That's all. Next one. Then he says, in the Jain Shastra, there is no scope for any falsity. Ayatharth का संभव ही नहीं है. ठीक है? For example, your teacher praised you. Your teacher praised you, or praised a child. Now the child goes home and tells the mother how the teacher praised him. Now will he say the same words that the teacher told him? Same words आएगा क्या उसके मुंह से? But the essence will come, no? The essence, the prayojan behind why the teacher praised, for what he was praised, all that will be communicated, but the words will not be the same. In the same way, the narrator in the Prathamanuyog will narrate the essence, but the narration will not match with what must have truly happened. But that doesn't mean कि उन्होंने कुछ untrue लिख दिया. No. That doesn't mean some untruth has been written. No. So when the child is not saying the same words that the teacher told him, is he telling some untruth? No. According to his understanding, he will tell what the teacher told him. Likewise, your parents may tell you something. You come home and tell your child, look, father told like this. Will it be the same words, or the essence of what father said will be communicated? Same like this, you have to understand over here. Okay. Now, for example, in the Shastra, they'll say that somebody did upvas. Okay. And he got very little fruit of it. Or they will say somebody did upvas and they went to Devalok. So did he go to Devalok only by the upvas or because of his Ayushya karma? So to highlight one particular thing, they will talk in this language. Oh, he did upvas. Somebody spoke the Namokar mantra. The Namokar mantra went in the ears, and then he went to Devalok. Oh, he did one upvas. He got Kevalam. But we do so many upvas every day, nothing happens. So there are so many factors involved in that Keval Gyan. One of the factors is upvas. So what he's trying to say is, they did the upvas physically, and spiritually they went in deep in their soul and they got Keval Gyan. But in the narratives, they won't talk about that he went in the soul and all that. They'll say he did ek din ka upvas, do din ka upvas, they destroyed the karmas and they went to moksha. But we have to understand other things based on other anuyog. So Dravyanuyog will say, at the time of upvas, he took to Shuddhopayog, he took to the ladder of Gunasthan, he destroyed the Ghati Karm. Karnanuyog will say he destroyed the Ghati Karm. Charnanuyog will say he was a Muni. Like that, the same incident, you can look at it from 4 points. Okay. Then they'll say, somebody took to the practice of brahmacharya, sheel, with steadfastness, and he took the Namokar mantra, and then he got this Shuli ka Sinhasan ban gaya, Sarp ki mala ban gayi. Somebody tried to test the daughter-in-law. They put a snake in a pot and gave it to the daughter-in-law. And she was so devoted, she chanted the Namokar mantra, she put her hand in the pot and only a garland came out of it. Now this is the incident. So Prathamanuyog will give you the narration of this incident. Now you have to look at it from Charnanuyog, that she was so steadfast in her sheel. Karnanuyog will say that her Sata Vedaniya karma was operating, so snake was not there. Sata was there, Yash Nam karma was there, so garland came out. Asata Vedaniya karma was not there, so snake was not there. Or even if the snake was there, she had no Asata Vedaniya karma to get the fear of it. Mohaniya was not there, etc. etc. So like that, you have to understand. So somewhere they will say somebody did the paap and he did not get the fruit of it. And somebody anya karma ke udaya se neech gati ko prapt hua, kashtadik hue. So anya, because of some other karma, he went to neech gati. For example, Muniraj also eats food, right? But taking that food is the cause for nirjara. And on the other hand, they'll say a person is not eating the food, but still he is consuming because mentally he is there. For example, you keep tasty food or chocolates or something before the child, and the child is not getting to eat it, but still his mind is there only, no? His mind is there, he's lalcha raha hai, uske liye he's very curious about it, he's very anxious about it, he's very desperate about it. So that is as good as eating. Even if the child doesn't eat, he has got that craving inside, which will have a lasting impact. So even though he has not done the paap of eating, he's actually done the paap. And on the other hand, a muni is eating, but he eats without ragvesh, with gyata drashta bhav. So even when he's eating, he's not eating. So like that, you have to understand the Charnanu Yoga. Here they are telling about the fruit of punya, paap, etc. You have to look at it from different angles. Next, they say, okay, you're telling it is not done as it is. Then, but why are you talking false? Jhoot kyun batate ho? So here they are saying ki sometimes no agyani jeev no without telling them about the fruit of dharma, they cannot be brought on the path of dharma. For such people, you have to narrate that if you do one upvas, 100 saal narak mein nahi jaoge. Hai na? If you do this, you will get this. If you do this, you will. If you don't do this, you will not get this. So it is for the agyani jeev who are not having a evolved conscious or a wisdom or an intellect or to rationalize things. For such people, these kind of narratives are given. And so what they are trying to say is, it will be false when you say that dharm ke phal ko paap ka phal bataye. That is, you do dharma and you get paap, or you do paap, you get dharma. Then it is false. You understand? You do violence and you say you're doing dharma. Like that. So paap ke phal ko dharm ka phal batlaye. So you're doing this some sin and then you say you will get the fruit. In fact, I should tell you very clear. I'll tell you one small story, which you must have studied. A Muniraj is meditating in the forest and a lion wants to eat the Muniraj, the flesh of the Muniraj. And there is another animal, I think it's a boar or something, who wants to protect the Muniraj from the lion. Did you study this story? Okay. Now, and what is the Muni doing? He is doing Atma Dhyan. So he is in Shuddhopayog. The lion wants to eat the Muniraj is Ashubhopayog. He is having an inauspicious thought process. The boar or that wild animal wants to save the Muniraj. He is having some karma, Shubh karma, that he doesn't want to meddle with all this, and he wants to protect the Muniraj, allow him to meditate. So he fights the lion. Now both are killing each other. Both are fighting each other. But with what bhav they are fighting? One is fighting to have access to the flesh of the Muniraj, and one is fighting to save that flesh of the Muniraj. Both their intentions are different. Kriya is the same of fighting. Parinam is the same of killing. Killing or Kashai is the same. But Abhipray, what is Abhipray? The lion wants to finish the Muniraj. The boar wants to save the Muniraj. And what is Muniraj doing? He is neutral. He is not bothered whether he is eaten up or he is saved. He is only interested in his spiritual absorption and evolution. Understood? So what I'm trying to say is, now, if the Muniraj is experiencing the soul, it is Shuddhopayog and Samvar Nirjara. Okay. If he is not able to meditate on the soul, he comes out of it, then it will be Shubhopayog. If he is on the higher level of Gunasthan. And how much Shubhopayog is there, that much of Asrav is there for that Muniraj. How much Atma ka experience is there, that much only Samvar Nirjara is there. So when a person becomes a Muni, 365 days he will not be in Shuddhopayog. He will exert to come to Shuddhopayog, but maximum time he will be in Shubhopayog. But he considers Shubhopayog something that comes on the way, but not something that which you have to get stuck up to. So he considers that Shubhopayog as Heya. And again, he'll come to the Shuddhopayog, which is Upadeya. Upadeya means acquirable. Heya means discardable. So like that, when he comes to the Shuddhopayog, it is 7th Gunasthan. When he comes to Shubhopayog, it is 6th Gunasthan. So like that, he will be swinging between 6th and 7th Gunasthan. So that Shubhopayog is Pap, but not that Pap when compared to killing somebody and all that. It is Shubh Asrav. It is Punya Asrav. Now, Pap means not that Pap, but Punya Asrav. But if he considers, oh, by this Asrav, I will get liberated, then that means he doesn't know the Prathamanuyog also. He doesn't know Karnanuyog. He doesn't know Charnanuyog. He doesn't know Dravya. Am I loud and clear, friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In the same way, you can apply for a Shravak. A Shravak has taken to the Vratas, the 12 Vratas and everything. For what he is taken? So that he doesn't get stuck up in the quagmire of Pap. And he steals time from the Pap sinful life. Sinful life means Panch Pap, Hinsa, Jhoot, Chori, Kushil, Parigrah. He takes some deviations from it, and he tries to balance his material life and spiritual life. So a Shravak is one who wants to devote maximum time for his Atma, but he's not able to. So Udasin Bhav se he'll do all his material, mundane activities. Udasin Bhav, that Bhav will destroy the karmas. But the activities will be of Pap or Punya or whatever it is, and he will be getting the Asrav. So Abhipray mein bhool nahi hai. So Anantanubandhi Kashai he won't bind. So Anantanubandhi Mithyatva Kashai he won't bind. The Pratyakyan, Kashai and Karma bondage will be there. So like this, we have to look at the narratives of the Prathamanuyog. So many things, no, you have to learn one word over here, Upchar. What is the meaning of the word Upchar? Upchar is formality.
Ma'am, can Upchar be translated as treatment?
No. That is medical science. Upchar is different.
Okay.
यहाँ पे उपचार means, for example, I come to your house and you say, आइए मैडम, आइए, आप ही का घर है, बैठिए. So now I start considering your house as my house. So आपने तो औपचारिकता निभाई थी, उपचार से कहा था कि आप ही का घर है. But if I take it in the literal sense, then you'll ask, madam, when are you leaving, madam? And if I stay over there, you'll say, madam, when is your return ticket, madam? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So many things, no, we do it formally. Usko upchar bolte, औपचारिकता. है ना? For example, your friend's Grah Pravesh. He's built a very beautiful palatial house. But you know, if I praise him, karma bandhenge. But there also formally you have to tell, no, oh, you have built a beautiful house, congratulations. So औपचारिकता निभानी पड़ती है ना? है ना? From Nishchay, you know that it is all Pudgal. Your friend was only a Nimit. It is his karma ka uday, so he has made it. All this you cannot tell on his face, no?
Yeah, true.
You have to filter and tell, no?
Yeah.
You have to filter and tell, no? So that is Upchar. Likewise, in Jainism, for example, if 10 people have done some work, and if they say 20 people did it, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if the father has done the work and you say the son has done the work, it doesn't amount to untruth. Likewise, बहुत शुभ अशुभ कार्यों का फल हुआ, उसे उपचार से शुभ कार्य कह देते हैं. For example, you have done upvas, but little deviation was there and you regretted for it. So totally we'll put it in the Shubh Khata, no? Even though little Ashubh was there. Right? Likewise, you have done total Ashubh, only little Shubh, but we'll put totally in Ashubh Khata only, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Khata means account. Like that, liberties have to be taken up. Okay. Now in Upadesh, there will be two Varnan, Vyavhar Varnan, Nishchay Varnan. Upchar is all Vyavhar Varnan. It will be less or more, but don't, what to say, that less and more, वो सब कर्णानुयोग में discuss होता है. Less and more, all these degrees of variation will be discussed in Karnanuyog. Prathamanuyog has got nothing to do with that. Now, very important paragraph. Prathamanuyog में उपचार से formally किसी धर्म का अंग होने पर संपूर्ण धर्म बता देते हैं. For example, भगवान महावीर का जीव in the lion के भाव में he listened to the Muni's उपदेश and he got the samyaktva. Nishankit adi gun ho gaya. So there they will say that he got Nishankit. Nishankit is the first one of the 8 limbs of Samyak Darshan. Yeah. Nishankit, Nikanksha, Nirvichikitsa, Amoda Drishti, Upaguhan. All this you will study in Purushartha Siddhyupai in the next year. Just wait. Okay. So, we have to understand when all the 8 limbs of Samyak Darshan are there, no, only then Samyak Darshan can happen. But in the narrative, they will highlight one and they'll say they got the full Samyak Darshan. So we should not understand that much only. We should understand along with that one limb, all the other 8 limbs also he got. So he got Samyak Darshan. But in the narrative, in the flow of the story, there will be no scope for elaborating on that bit. So they will go ahead and complete the story. But we have to understand that when they say this, they actually mean this much. Okay?
Yes.
So now one important line. So Samyaktva will happen when you have Tattva Shraddhan, when you have Dev Guru Dharma Shraddhan, when you have Nishchay Vyavhar Shraddhan, everything. So one line they are saying, Nishchay Samyaktva का तो व्यवहार सम्यक्त्व में उपचार किया गया है. In the व्यवहार सम्यक्त्व, they have formally included the निश्चय सम्यक्त्व. And in one aspect of व्यवहार सम्यक्त्व, they have formally included the all aspects of व्यवहार सम्यक्त्व. हाँ, मालूम. Understood? This one line you note down. In the व्यवहार सम्यक्त्व, Nishchay Samyaktva is included. And in one limb of Vyavhar Samyaktva, the entire Vyavhar Samyaktva is formally included. Okay. He must have taken to one activity. Narrative mein activities hi batayenge na. He must have taken to one activity. But that one activity has behind it the force of Nishchay and all the aspects of Vyavhar Samyaktva. Okay. Like for example, they'll say he did the Muni Darshan and he got Samyak Darshan. So just by doing Muni Darshan, can somebody get Samyak Darshan?
No.
Then you have to understand by doing the Muni Darshan, uska 5 labdhi pak gaya. His Deshna Labdhi, Karan Labdhi, all had manifested. His Upadan was strong. His Karma ka Kshay ka Nimit was there. His time had come. His Purusharth was right. He understood the Swabhav of the Atma looking at the Muni. So he got Samyak Darshan. This many things you have to understand in that one line. You get me, dear children? You get me, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, like that you have to read. Now, in the same way, when you read the Jain scriptures, second paragraph on page number 273, niche se second paragraph. When you're reading Jain Shastra, somebody got Samyak Gyan. But you and I read every day, we don't get Samyak Gyan. So what they are saying, when you read the Shastra, you overcome all the Sanshay, Viparya, Anadhyavasai, and all the flaws of Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, then you get Samyak Gyan. So what they told in the previous paragraph, you have to reread them over here. In the Nishtay Samyaktva, in the Vyavar Samyaktva, the Nishtay Samyaktva is included. And in one aspect of Vyavar Samyaktva, the entire Vyavar Samyaktva has to be included. Then only Samyak Gyan happens. In the same way, next paragraph, Samyak Charitra. Somebody took to one pratigya. Okay, somebody took to one pratigya. Pratigya means resolution. So his Samyak Charitra flowered and he got Keval Gyan. So now behind that pratigya, there were so many other factors which you have to include and understand, which goes without saying, like that. Okay, so now somebody has taken to one small resolution and they call him a Shravak. But we read in Charnanu Yoga that only when you take to the Anuvrat and Pratimas, you are a Shravak. But to highlight his commitment, they will call him a Shravak. He may not be a Shravak in the true sense. Okay. Likewise, they have called Shrenik Raja Shravakottam, Uttam Shravak. But he had never taken to any vows. He had never taken to any vratas. So why they called him Shravakuttam? Because even though he was a Sanyat, for him, Apratyakhana Varan Kashaya Chokdi is not gone. He is not taken to any vows. So why do you call him Shravakuttam? He is not taken to any pratimas. So here they are trying to say he was so much into falsity. Falsity means false way. Then he came on the right way. He became a true Jain. He became a Samyak Drishti. He got the Tirthankar Nama Karma. He was a true Jain. Who is a true Jain? Write down. Nama Sthapna Dravya Bhav se Jain. We are all Nama Jain. Sthapana Jain means जिस जैन के मन में, the Jain in whose mind the devotion for Vitrag Bhagwan, dedication, determination to follow the path of Jinas is there. Or you can say the devotion of Paramatma is there. He is a Sthapna Jain. जिस जैन के मन में वितराग भगवान की स्थापना है, he is a Sthapna Jain. Sthapna se Jain. Then Dravya se Jain. Nama Sthapna Dravya Bhav for Nikshep. Dravya Jain means one who has understood Vitrag Bhagwan and has resolved firmly to follow his path. He is a Dravya Jain. So reading the scriptures, we all resolve, yes, this is the truth, we should follow it. If that resolution comes, then it is Dravya Jain. Dravya se Jain. Dravya Nikshep se Jain. Then what happened? You went to your office work. You got busy with the mundane activities. Suddenly in the night, you remembered your resolution. And you sat in meditation. Meditating on the Gyayagna. So before meditating, you remembered your resolution again. You remembered your commitment again. And now it is the time for me to dive deep into my spiritual into my consciousness. That 1 minute before absorbing in the pure soul is Bhav Nikshep se Jain. So Nikshep is the enactment of things before the actual act. Again, the same example. You want to build a house. So first you have to know what kind of house you want to build. Naam, bungalow, flat, igloo, mud house, whatever, tree house, whatever, you have to give the name. In your mind, you have to do the sthapna. This much cement, this much wood, this much, this sab naam mein aa jayega. Sthapna. Sthapna mein what kind of house, when you want to build. Now the blueprint. Sthapna is the blueprint. You build a blueprint. And in the blueprint, you said this is the kitchen, this is the drawing room, this is the balcony, everything you do the sthapna over there. Sthapna means fixing. Now there is no kitchen over there, there is no living room over there. It's only in paper. It's only in blueprint. So that is sthapna. Now you have got 2-3 blueprints. And then you resolve, no, this is the blueprint that I want to build. So that resolution is the dravya nikshep related to building a house. Okay. Now you did not have the finance, you did not have the money, you had to do all the jugaad, everything. And then one fine day, again, you decided, yes, now is the time for me to take up that blueprint and build the house. Now you call the contractor, engineer, constructors, you get all the material, and then only the actual building of the house starts. In the same way, some building of the house is like Samyak Darshan. Before the Samyak Darshan, these 4 nikshep will happen. So Naam say, I am a Shuddhatma. Sthapna, you do like Siddha Bhagwan, I am a Shuddhatma. Dravya say, I have to enjoy it, I have to absorb in it. Bhav say, the firm determination to absorb in it. And then you absorb it. Likewise, before any activity, these 4 nikshep will come. You want to make a dish. You want to take to some business. You have to first give the name of the business. Then you have to do the sthapna, that for this, where will I get the raw material, how I'll do the marketing, etc., etc. Then the decision, yes, now I can do it. And then sometimes immediately after Dravya Bhav Nikshep will happen. Or sometimes there will be a difference gap. There will be a time difference. And then you actually start the business. Likewise for Samyak Darshan, likewise for Diksha, likewise for Salekhna, likewise for everything in this world happens. And this is with reference to Tattvartha Sutra that I told you just now. So what they are trying to say over here is that so much of Praman, Nay, everything is applied when the Charitra is taken up. But when they talk about somebody doing to Charitra, they will not elaborate all that. You have to understand from other sources. Okay. So likewise, Shrenik is called Shravakuttam because he was he was not a Jain only. And then when he became a Jain, he became a Samyak Drishti. He bound the Tirthankar Nama Karma. He had steadfast faith in the words of Mahavir. Like that is why he is called Shravakuttam. That doesn't mean you have to understand him to be the Anuvradhari Shravak. So liberties. You have cinematic liberties, like that narrative liberties. Okay.
Ma'am, you mentioned Shrenik was Asanyat. What is Asanyat?
Asanyat means he has not taken to vows.
Okay.
He could not for one day give up taking to his material pleasures.
Sure.
Understood? But he got this firm faith in the Atma, Paramarth, Tattva Gyan, everything. He was a follower of Buddhism. He is a great Bimbisara. Ajatshatru, Bimbisar, Konik, all these are historical figures.
Yes.
He was a follower of Buddhism and his wife Chelna was a follower of Mahavir.
Yes.
And they used to have dialogue. And then he went and did, he took a snake and put on a Muniraj.
Yeah.
In Shvetamba tradition, it is Anathi Muni. In Digamba tradition, I think it is, I don't get the name of the Muniraj. Sukumal Muniraj or something. He put the snake on it and then he realized the mistake he did. He repented for it and he got faith. He got insight into life and living. And then there was a turning point in his life.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
So what I would suggest is, I have a very beautiful book, 24 Tirthankar Mahapuran. You should read that book. Each Tirthankar के वैराग्य का क्या निमित्त था. Okay, 24 Tirthankar Mahapuran. Then in Shvetamba tradition, you have Jain Dharma ka Maulik Ityas. So many stories are. You should have storytelling clubs and integrate Tattva Gyan and spirituality with stories and tell. Okay, see, I know a lot of storytelling clubs in Chennai, but they are not Jainism related. They'll do all other kinds of stories, values and this and that. Okay, next, come back quickly. For example, a Muni is without Samyaktva. Okay. Still, he what to say? He is not able to follow the vows completely. Atichar is happening for him. Still, we will call him a Muni. When they say in Bhagwan Samava Sharan, there were many Munis. They may have been Dravyalingi Muni, Bhavlingi Muni, but all will be called Munis. But we know the spiritual difference of both of them. For one, there is Ananta Sansar. For one, there is path of liberation. But in the narratives, whether it is they will bypass, whether it is Dravyalingi or Bhavlingi, no matter. He's a Muni. He's taken to the vows. From Dravyanuyog point, we'll say, no, he's not a Muni. From Prathamanuyog point of view, he'll be called a Muni. So are they telling false? No. Understood, dear? What Panditji is trying to say? Now, with this guidance, you read the text. You have any doubt, please bring it on the table. Okay. Next one. You know the story of Raksha Bandhan, Vishnu Kumar Muni.
Yes, ma'am.
He took to the Tejolesha and he saved the Muniraj. He saved all the Muniraj. So then he took Prashchit and again he reinitiated himself in that order. So that doesn't mean that all Munis can do like this. If they see something wrong happening, they will also give up the vows. We'll do the good of the society and again we'll reinitiate. That is not the message that you should get out of the story. So exceptions never make a rule. As an exception, this happened in the story of Raksha Bandhan, where Vishnu Kumar, because of Dharma Anurag, because of Vatsalya, he had, you know that story, go and read the Raksha Bandhan story in your Balbodh 1, 2 or Vitrag Vigyan. Okay, now there is another one story that certain Muniraj was meditating in a cave and it was very cold. And one shepherd boy, he went and lit some fire. But fire, he lit आग जलाया ताकि उनको शीत का उपसर्ग नहीं लगे. But that fire became an upsarg for the Muniraj. So that doesn't mean that anybody can take to these activities because of love for Muniraj or love for Samaj or love for whatever it is. So in different contexts, different things will be told. So contextually, you have to look at things and not generally take things. Okay. Likewise, so many narratives are given over here. For example, one person, he did not have any children. And to get rid of rog, to get rid of kashta, somebody takes to Chaitanya, puja, somebody takes to some worship of the gods. Likewise, you have Krishna never had younger brother whom his mother could nurture. So he went and did Attham Tap and he worshipped the gods and he got a brother, Gajasukumal. Like that doesn't mean that anybody can do it and get it. Unless otherwise your karma uday is there or your karmic connect is there, these things will not happen. There are many, many factors. Okay, but in narratives, they'll say, oh, he did the Namaskar mantra. So the snake, Parshnath Bhagwan did the Namokar chanting. So the snake went to Devlok. The snake went to Devlok because of his Ayushya karma, his Shubha karma. Parsho was only an image. Likewise, okay, even I'll chant Namokar mantra for snakes and for patients who are dying on the road, they will also go to Devlok. That meaning should not be got. But if you do this, oh, I will chant the Namokar mantra and this person will go to Devlok, you are doing Nidan Bandha Artha Dhyan. There Sahaj mein ho gaya. So like that you have to understand. In the same way, some Raja wanted other Raja to bow down to him. And then, so he took his Mudrika. Mudrika is his ring. And he kept it in a Pratima. That doesn't mean everybody has to do this. Like that, so many stories are given. You read this Prathamanuyog and come to me with doubts. Now we'll go to the Karnanuyog Prayoga. Today I will do 3. If possible, I will do 3, otherwise only 2. Very big chapters, very big portions. Karnanuyog is all mathematics, calculation, karma, gunasthan, leshya, kashai, numbers, amount, quantity, all that will come under Karnanuyog. Now, what they are saying is, first of all, whatever is told in Karnanuyog cannot be empirically verified. Only through inference you can understand them. You cannot prove them in a laboratory. You cannot show it. You cannot see it with these mundane eyes. You can only have faith in them and look at them and understand them. So, and one thing very nicely they say is, like, you cannot sit in meditation and tell, oh, now I'm in first Gunasthan. Now I'm going to the fourth Gunasthan. Oh, now I'm fourth Gunasthan. Now I'm going to the seventh Gunasthan. So, my teacher would tell me that Karnanuyog topics and all are all like window shopping. You just have to see them and not purchase them. You understand? So all these you have to know them, but you can't sit and practically take to them. Can you practically see the karmas? Can you practically see the gunasthan, leshya? You cannot. 6 dravyas I want to see, dharmastika, adharmastika, no. So all the Karnanuyog things are keval gyan gamya, which become pratyaksh in your anuman praman. They are pratyaksh in keval gyan, but for a chadmasta who is with karma, they become pratyaksh in their anuman, inference. Am I loud and clear? Any doubt, please ask.
Ma'am, this inference would also be of Tattvagyani only, isn't it?
Yes, Tattvagyani only.
Okay. Thank you.
So you cannot sit and practically do things. Oh, I'm in the 10th Gunasthan. Now I'm going to fall to the first Gunasthan. Let me fall down. Let me go up. These kind of things will not work over here. So what they're saying is that Jiva, Karma, Triloka, all these are told. So here you have Jivasthan, Gunasthan, Marganasthan. They are all told over here. And now how many jivas are there in this universe? Infinite. Grouped under 14. How many karma are there? Infinite, but grouped under 8 and 148. Okay. How many ways of knowing the jiva? Infinite, but grouped under 14. That doesn't mean that karma are only 8 and 148. The pudgal are infinite, but grouped in mote roop mein, in very, broad sense, you have to understand them. But sukshma is only seen in keval gyan. Okay. So they'll talk from the dravya, kshetra, kal, bhav point of view. And then they'll say pradesh, samay, abhibhag, pratiched, all the terminology they'll use over there. Okay. Then Jeev and Pudgal are totally different. But somewhere they'll say the sharir of the Jeev as Jeev. है ना? शरीर सहित जीव को भी जीव बोल देते हैं. Like that. Okay. Then Chadmast can have only Pratyaksh Anuman. Pratyaksh Anuman means Anuman mein Pratyaksh hota hai. For example, you see the clouds and you infer that it is going to rain. The rain is not yet poured, but you got the Pratyaksh. You could see the rain Pratyaksh in your Gyan. And then it starts pouring. Then that becomes Pratyaksh, Indriya Pratyaksh. So like that, so many examples we can give. So I'll tell you one thing very beautifully. When we read the scriptures, all the 4 Anuyog, in Samayik, when we are meditating, we are actually remembering, Smriti mein late. Smriti is what? Memory. We remember again and again and again and again, I am Gyayak Bhav, I am Gyayak Bhav, I am Gyayak. And one fine day, you will recognize it. Pratyabhigyan. As it is. Okay. And then Smriti, may you recall it, then you recognize, oh yes, this kind of Atma. Then you rationalize, tarka. Then you do the tarka. Oh yes, yes, not like this, not like this, like this. And then you get the inference of it, that is Anuman. And that inference, you keep doing repeatedly, and one fine day it becomes directive. That is the process of Samayik and Dhyan and all. You get me, dear children?
Yes, ma'am.
So, in like this, they'll be talking of very minute things in Karnanuyog. Then they'll say, they will say that somebody is taking to the vratas. Okay, but he has got no antaranga samyak darshan. He has not got the nishchay samyak. He has no knowledge of Gyayak Bhav. Simply he is taken to the vratas, he is following the diksha, everything. So he will be called as Mithya Drishti Avrati. And on the other hand, somebody has not taken to the vratas. He is sleeping physically, but mentally, spiritually, he is alert. He will be called as a Vrati and a Samyaktvi. Understood? Very clear the meaning is? Externally, he may be appearing to fighting a battlefield, but internally he is detached. He's got the Bheda Vigyan. He's very clear about things. So he will be called as a Samyaktvi and Vrati. Vrati means not the Vratas. He's given up the Anantanubandhi Kashai. He will not take to Mithyatva. That Vrati is got. Okay? Then some people will be having lot of Kashai inside. But externally, they will be showing Manda Kashai. For example, lot of tasty food is before me. But I am in a party. I'm supposed to take only when everybody starts taking. So inside I'm having tivra desire, but I have to pretend that I have no desire. Anybody, it's just a very crude example that I'm giving. Okay. Likewise, some people will be having no kashai inside. No kashai inside means manda kashai inside. But externally, they'll be showing lot of kashai. For example, a mother trying to teach a child, train a child, she has to exercise anger and discipline and all that. So it appears that she's very cruel and rude. But internally, she's very soft. She only wants to help the child in all possible ways. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then they say that Vyantaradi will come and they Kashai se Nagar ka nash karte hain. Okay, they Vyantaradi, because of their Pitalesha, they can even destroy the cities and villages, but they cannot have the Krishna Lesha. However destructive their activities may be, but a Vyantar Dev can have only Pitalesha. Okay, then they are saying that Sarvartha Siddha, Sarvartha Siddha is the highest Devlok. There the Dev have very little Kashai, but they are asayami. They cannot take to vows. On the other hand, in the fifth Gunasthan, there is a Shravak who is taking to the Avashyak violence, Brahmacharya, everything, but still he is said to have Desha Sayam. Even though the Sarvartha Siddha Jeev is not doing anything, he is asayami. And even though a Vrati is doing too many material activities, he is called Sayami. Understood the difference? What they are trying to say? So in Karnanuyog, they'll be talking about karma, leshya, of all the jiva in different gatis. What leshya they have, what dhyan they have, all this we study in Laghu Dandak and so many other chapters, Dandak and all that. Okay. Now what they are saying is, some jeev have very little man, vachan, kaya activities. Physically, mentally, verbally, they are taking to very little activities. Okay. But the potential to bind the karmas is more in them. On the other hand, somebody is doing plenty of activities, but internally his wisdom, his knowledge, his bhav is so evolved, so the potential to bind karmas is less in that person. So external activities, you cannot judge a person by the external activities, the karma he is binding, etc. Got me? All of you got me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then he's saying that a Kevli Bhagwan does not do any physical activity. Gaman adi kriya se rahit hai. But his yogic powers are tremendous. Man, vachan, kaya, yoga, shakti is super. And on the other hand, the two sensed organisms, they are taking to all physical, mental, verbal activities, but their yoga shakti is less. So what I'm trying to say is, what you have to understand is, the more you use your mind, body, speech, the less will be their powers. And the more you close them, the more will be the yogic powers. So when I'm talking, I'm using my virya and spending it. But when I'm not talking, I'm saving my virya, and saving all that virya will amount to ananta virya. That's why physically, mentally, verbally do nothing. When you just be, live, experience a pure soul, that ananta virya will manifest. But when you keep doing these activities, you lose all the virya, you go back to nigot. You understood, dear?
Ma'am, would that be the reason why they propose 3 Guptis?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Without Gupti, no Keval Gyan or no Anant Virya. Indriyon ko Gupt rakhna. The tortoise, no? Tortoise example.
Yeah.
All the limbs inside, you're secure. When the limbs are outside, you're binding all the Karman Vargana Pudgal come to you. Because of the yoga activities, Karman Vargana Pudgal come to you. Because of the presence of Kashai inside, they stick to you. So Aryant Bhagwan also, they do the activities, but there is no Kashai. So 1 second they come, second they go back. They are dropped. Lakshmi, ye le lo na. Understood, dear?
Ma'am, to do
Yes,
nothing is the most difficult task to make this jeev do.
You're all in the discussion group, no? That
Yes, ma'am.
child
Yes,
trying
ma'am.
to do the meditation.
Yes, ma'am.
Child trying to do the meditation. No? So in a class, all the children are meditating. And this little child, he has some burger in his bag and he takes it and he eats it and he's just pretending to meditate. And then he sees that somebody is watching him. And then again he tries to close. He's not able to concentrate. You know, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So practicing do nothing with the spiritual insight is beneficial. Simply do nothing means even the tree is doing nothing. The stone is doing nothing. But even those stones gather mass. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now they are going to talk about, see, a lot of small paragraphs and small things are here. I'm just trying to give you point by point. Muni is not following a brahmachari. But still, till the ninth gunasthan, he's having the Veda Mohaniya karma. So he is not complete brahmachari. In the common parlance, Charananuyog language, he is a brahmachari. But from Karananuyog point of view, he will be a brahmachari only when he has crossed the ninth gunasthan. Understood? The
Right.
difference between Charnanuyog and Karnanuyog interpretations. Likewise, Aham Indra. Aham Indra means higher Gunasthan, higher Devlok. All are Indra. Up to 12 Devlok or 16 Devlok, there will be one Indra. But above that, all are Indra. Nobody is under anybody. So Aham Indra has no reason for suffering. But for him also, Asata Vedaniya Karma Uday is there. So suffering is there. Next, in Karnanuyog, they will talk of Upsham, subsidence, destruction, and all that. They'll talk of Gunasthan, and they'll talk of Ratnatre in relation to Karma and Gunasthan. Then, according to Karnanuyog, one is not able to exert. Okay. So in Karnanuyog, the purpose is, the method is to show you the play of Karma and Kashai and Leshya. The importance is not to highlight the practices. Understood? In Karnanuyog, the methodology is to highlight the play of Karma, Kashai, Leshya, etc., Bhava, etc., and not to focus on the Acharan, the do's and don'ts. In the same way, when in Charnanuyog it comes, their purpose is to highlight the do's and don'ts. What happens in Karma, Kashai is secondary. Okay. So, so you cannot sit and, you can sit and take to Charnanuyog, okay, I will sit and do Samayik, I will sit and do Pratikraman, I will sit and do Puja. That and all you can do. But now I will sit and do Upshambhav. I'll sit and do Samyak Darshan. I will sit and do this. I will sit and get rid of, I'm going to do the post-mortem of all the karma. That cannot be done. That is the difference between both. Okay. Like for example, I told you, Gunasthan, let me fall here, let me go there, all that comes over there. Next one, Hinsa Adi. If you take to any violence, etc., then it is Kumati Gyan. And if you're not having your mati or buddhi right, then it is kushrut. Even though you're taking to Shrut Shastra Abhyas with the wrong mind, it will be called kushrut. In the same way, if you're taking to the Charitra, but with the wrong intention, it will be called kucharitra. Wrong intention means without the spiritual insight. If you're taking to these activities, it will be called as kucharitra in Karnanuyog language. In Charnanuyog, they'll put tick mark to it. Oh, you're doing Shastra Abhyas, very good. You're doing Vratas, very good. You're not doing Hinsa, very good. But if you're doing with Mithyatva, Karnanuyog will say, wait, watch what you're doing. What is your intention? Understood, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next one. So somewhere they will talk in a very blunt, in a very mote roop mein, gross roop mein, somewhere in a subtle roop, and try to tell you about the fineness, fine things of karmic existence, bhav existence, leshya existence, and how the interplay between Jeev and Ajeev is happening at the subtle level. Measuring all that comes under Karnanuyog. Clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, if a person is taking to Mithyatva, Saswad and Gunasthan, he's called as Papaji. If a person is taking to Samyaktva and other things, he's called Punyaji. So, Pap Punya keep happening in the journey of the soul. So, this is the methodology of the Karnanuyog. Now, this Charnanuyog, I want you people to read and come. I will now take to Dravyanuyog. I will only start the Dravyanuyog. You have to read and come, and we will discuss in the next class, because Charnanuyog is given in almost 7-8 pages, 10 pages. I cannot complete in half an hour. So Dravyanuyog, very, very important. So what is the methodology of Dravyanu? In Dravyanu, page number 284, they try to highlight the Jiva Tattva with the help of Yukti, Hetu, Drishtant. Yukti is ways, rational. Hetu is tarka, logic, reason. Drishtant is illustration. So they give you the Visheshta. Visheshta means uniqueness of the Jivadi Dravya through Praman, through Naya, through illustrations, through rationale, through logic, so that you can infer this Jiva Tattva and get Samyak Darshan. The purpose here is for the Jiva to get to understand the Jiva as it is and get Samyak Darshan. Even though the Jiva is Abheda, they'll do all the Bheda and tell. Gyan is there, Darshan is there, Sukh is there, Virya is there, only for making us understand. But in the Vastu, there is no Bheda. For example, sugar is one Akhanda Dravya of whiteness, sweetness, crystalness, etc. But to make us understand, we'll say, oh, sugar is white. So from the point of view of color, it is white. From the point of view of taste, it is sweet. From the point of view of the texture, it is crystal. But all these are one in the sugar. All these together make up the sugar. Likewise, the Jiva is Abheda, having infinite properties. It is one Akhanda whole of infinite properties. Only to make us understand that Jiva, they do all the Bheda and tell us in Dravyanu. Okay, that doesn't mean that you have to understand, oh, in Atma, Gyan is in the head part, Darshan is the hand part, Charitra is in the leg part, not like that. I give you the example, no? For example, you have cooked the dish and you have put 50 ingredients in it. So every part of the dish will have all the 50 ingredients. Likewise, in every Atma Pradesha, every Avibhag Praticheda Ansh of that Atma Pradesha, the infinite qualities are dancing. Like every drop of water, the infinite properties of the ocean are there. Understand? So Atma is ocean and the Atma Pradeshas are drops, but the drops are, the ocean water is like the drop. So if you know that one drop correctly, you will know the whole ocean, what it is made up of. So that one Gyan Swabhav, if you know correctly, you will know all the other Dravyas, you will know the whole Atma, and when you know the whole Atma, you will know the whole universe. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is the, through Praman, through Naya, through Yukti, through Drishtant, they will try to tell about Moksha Marga, the Jivadi Tattvas, Swapar Bheda Vigyan. This is the terminology you'll use. Swa and Par, Gyan and Gye. First thing, Atma and Sharir are different. If you want, you can write down. Body and soul are different. Then when you go to the soul, there are two things dancing in the soul, Gyan and Rag. So Gyan is separate, Rag is separate. Rag is the Kashaya Atma, Gyan is the Atma. Then when you go to Gyan, again separate. Gyan is different, Gye is different. And when you do this differentiation, that process is called Samaik. You remain in Gyan Swabhav, you remain in Gyayak Bhav, you remain in Samta Bhav. So in one of my university classes, I'm reading a very beautiful book, Shuddhopayog Vivechan, by Marwadkar. I think his name is Manohar Marwadkar. Shuddhopayog Vivechan. So there he gives 4 points. If you want, you can write down. The process of liberation will include these 4 steps. If these 4 steps are not there, you are not on the path of liberation. First is Tattva Shraddhan. Through Yukti, Drishtant, Hetu, you understand the Jiva Tattva, different from all the Ajiva, Punya, Pap, Asrav, Bandha, everything. You understand it and get the right knowledge, insight of it is Tattva Shraddha. And when you get the Tattva Shraddha, what will eventually follow side by side is Sanyam and Tap. Second point, Sanyam and Tap. Now you will try to not indulge in sensual and sexual pleasures. You will refrain your activities and you will take to Tap. 12 types of Tap. Repeated Swadhyay, repeated Dhyan, repeated fasting, repeated Rasparityag, repeated Kayutsar. That will follow. If your Tattva Shraddhan is strong, what follows is Sanyam and Tap. Under Sanyam, you have to take 2 types of Sanyam. Indriya Sanyam, Prani Sanyam. Even before you switch on a switch, you will think twice. Do I need it? Can I be without it? Every activity of yours will be with awareness. That is Sanyam. You will not indulge in Anartha Dand, extra activities not required. You will become very careful. Mentally alert. Now that Tattva Shraddha has come, spiritual awakening has come. So mental alertness, Indriya alertness, physical activities, everything will be guided by the Gyan and Tattva Shraddha that you have got. And you will be more inclined towards Tap. Tap is not just physical. They are physical, mental, spiritual exercises to be with the Tattva that you have understood. Understood? And what follows this exercise of Sanyam and Tap is Vitarag Bhav. Vitarag Bhav. Vitaragta will come. You will start experiencing the Vitaragta and the bliss inside. And with that Vitarag Bhav, 4th will be Samata Bhav. Whatever comes in life, Sukh, Dukh, Hani, Labh, Jivan, Maran, Yash, Apayash, I'm not bothered. Death, I'm ready. Birth, I'm ready. Profit, I'm ready. Loss, because they don't belong to me. They are coming because of the krambad or karma or whatever it is. I'm equanimous. Equanimity means not just being indifferent to them. Enjoying your inherent wealth of Vitarag Bhav is Samata. Enjoying that Gyayak, being with that Gyayak Swabhav, Tattva, you are not bothered about what happens to your body, what happens to your family, what happens outside. You become detached. And in that detachment, in that Sanyam and Tap and Vitarag Bhav, the karmas that you bound since infinite lives are destroyed. I think this is very beautiful, these 4 bits.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So, Mukhya Roop Se means in a very strong way, in a very important way, Gyan and Vairagya. So if you know the Gyan Swabhav Atma and you want to be with it, that is Vairagya. If you have understood your Gyan Swabhav Atma and you want to experience that again and again, that is Vairagya. You don't have any rag for any material thing because everything is again momentary, ephemeral, karmic, dependent, dukh roop, desire roop. Read Pravachan Sar. We are going to read Pravachan Sar afterwards. Beautiful, beautiful. It's very beautifully told, you know. I can give you now, if you want, 10 to 12 differences between Indriya Sukh and Atma Sukh. Do you want it?
Yes, ma'am.
Write down, quickly write down. See, I'm correcting a very beautiful thesis, you know. It is study of Atma ki 47 Shaktiyan. Very beautiful charts and all given by my student. And I'm just enjoying it. I've just finished 80-100 pages out of the 250 pages. Okay. Very nicely done thesis. In 2 years, she's finished the work. She's the only one who has given it so quickly. Yeah, 15 differences between Indriya Sukh and Atindriya Sukh. First one, you put a chart. put a column, Indriya Sukh one side, Atindriya Sukh one side. If you want, I'll send you a picture of it. If you don't want to write, you can write it afterwards. I'll send you the picture of it. Just ask me if I forget. First one, Indriya Sukh is the cause of transmigration. It is only Sukha Bhas. Cause of transmigration, Atindriya Sukh leads to liberation. Indriya Sukh forever will be changing. You want new, different. हो गया, thank you. कुछ और काम है तो देख लो. है तो तुम ही देख लो ना, तुम्हारा घर है तो देख लो, नहीं है तो जाओ. ठीक है. Changing, Atindriya Sukh is unchanging. Comparable, you can compare. This dress is better than that dress. This dish is better than that dish. This is more sweet. You know, all this master chef, what do? They compare the dishes. But Atindriya Sukh, not comparable. It is the same. Second one, deluding. It will delude the soul. Indriya Sukh. This will what? Awaken, non-deluding. Awakening. Second one, dependent. Independent. Atma ka Sukh is not dependent on any other external agent. But only if the TV is there, I can enjoy it. If the movie ticket is there, I can enjoy it. If the dish is there, I can enjoy it. So dependent. Next one, limited. Here infinite, Ananta Sukh. Next, obstructed. Badha aati hai. TV hai, connection chala gaya. No money to charge the phone. Obstructed, unobstructed. Perishable. Indriya Sukh, what you enjoyed last minute, you cannot enjoy now. Perished. Childhood days, memories, they'll only haunt you then. Perish. Here, imperishable. Indriya Sukh is relative. This is better than that. Relative hai. For example, I'll give you one very nice example over here. Supposing you have got a very beautiful program to attend today. Very interesting, very exciting. Some party or some movie or some outing or something. And suddenly there's a death in the family. So that Sukh will be Sukh. Before that news, you were happy about going for the movie. But after that news, that idea of going for the movie or the party doesn't impress you. So it is relative. Okay, here, absolute. Absolute. Next one. This is restrained. Restrained ka matlab kya hai? You cannot have anything freely. And you have to restrain. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Bound, man.
Bound by some certain norms of society and all these kind of things. But Atma ka Sukh, unrestrained. No restraint on it. 11th one, tarnished. And how do you pronounce this word? Impeccable. Impeccable, impeccable, not tarnished, pure. Next, temporary. Permanent. Through senses. Through senses. And if that's why we are scared of old age. Oh, what will happen if my senses are not cooperating? I cannot hear, I cannot see, and I cannot smell corona. What will happen if all my teeth fall? I cannot taste. So we are interested in the Indriya Sukh. So we are worried to lose the powers of the Indriya. Okay. So through senses, here it is beyond senses. Whether I have senses or not, whether the powers of senses are working or not, I am always the Gyayat Bhav. Now it is a time for me to be with it. Take it as an opportunity to be with it. So only if you have the Tattva Gyan, you will take it as an opportunity. Otherwise, you will keep brooding. You will be in Artha Dhyan. You will be binding more karmas, not having insight into reality. Okay, next one. Varying degrees. On the right, constant and continuous. Constant and continuous. 15th, with anxiety. Will always be anxious. Ye karoon, wo karoon, aise karoon, waise karoon, do this, do that. Here, no anxiety, without anxiety. So when you rely on the Indriya Sukh, Atma remains conditioned. And when you go to the Atindriya Sukh, you become unconditioned by karma, kashai, gati, jati, everything. Understood
Very
this?
nice, ma'am. Thank you.
Understood this point? So in
Beautiful, ma'am.
Dravyanuyug, they will focus on the Atindriya Sukh, the Atindriya Atma, which is beyond the Indriya, so that you get the knowledge of it, you get the absorption of it, you get to realize it, and you get Atma Anubhav. So here, Adhyatma, the spiritual element, is more important than everything else. So I'll tell you one thing. Samay Sar will tell you are a pure soul. There is no karma, there is no kashai, there is no leshya for you. But Pravachan Sar will say, if you don't experience your pure soul, karma, kashai, leshya belong to you. The same Acharya writing these two beautiful texts, but the methodology is different. In Samay Sar, they want you to have the right vision of the Atma. And in Pravachan Sar, they want you to have the right knowledge of it and absorb it. So I will say Pravachan Sar is a more important text than Samay Sar. When you read Samay Sar, you may take things for granted. Oh, I'm eating everything, but still I'm not eating anything. I'm doing all the pap, but still nothing touches me. That is Samay Sar language. But Pravachan Sar says, no. When you know that you are a pure soul and you abide by it and don't take to all this, only then you are a pure soul. And the Niyam Sar will give you the Nishchay Vyavar of all the practices. So that is how the three texts are. Okay. So now in Dravyanuyog, they want you to understand the spiritual thing, then take to the righteous practices, come out of Ashubha, take to Shubha, don't get stuck up in Shubha, have the drishti on Shuddha, then take to Shuddhopayog and transcend the Gunasthan. And take the flight to Moksha. So the prayojan here is to come to Shuddhopayog. So when they say Punya is bad, that doesn't mean that you have to give up the Punya activities and go to Pap activities. The purpose is that Punya and Pap both fall short of taking you to the flight of liberation. You have to understand clearly the differences between Pap, Punya and Shuddha Bhav. The lion trying to eat the Muni, Papa Bhav. The boar trying to save the Muni, Punya Bhav. But only when the Muni is absorbed in himself, it is Shuddha Bhav. In the same way, when we try to do good things, Shubha Bhav. When we try to do Hinsa and other activities, Papa Bhav. But at the same time, if we understand the Shuddha Bhav and understand that both Punya and Papa are Asrav, and then you don't depend on them. You keep evolving intellectually, spiritually, philosophically. And then one final day in one life, you will evolve physically. You'll do only Punya activities, Shubha activities, no Pap happening. And you're not stuck up with Shubha. So you'll settle in Shuddha. So when you, with the spiritual quotient, the Punya quotient keeps increasing. With the spiritual understanding, your Punya quotient will keep increasing. And you will get more Punya than a person who doesn't have the spiritual quotient. That is the power of your Gyan on Punya. Okay. Now, supposing somebody is going to the temple and always worshipping. He's taking to the puja. So what they will say, ki, hey, Bhagwan is in your body. Deha mein dev hai, mandir mein nahi hai. That doesn't mean you don't go to temple only. In Charnanuyog, they'll say you have to go to the temple. In Karnanuyog, they will say if you go to the temple, this much of punya you will get. And in Prathamanuyog, they'll say that all the jinas also worshipped Bhagwan and Dev and all that. That many temples they built or whatever, all those things they will tell. Who built how many temples, where all the temples are, all that narratives they'll tell in Prathamanuyog. So in Charnanuyog, they'll say you should go to the Dev Darshan, Deva Puja, Guru Pasti, Swadhyay, Sanyam, Tap, all that you should do. But in Dravyanuyog, they'll say, Are, you will keep going to temple, you won't realize that you are a temple of God. Your body is a temple of God. In fact, body is the temple of God is also a very gross statement. Your Atma Pradeshas are the temple. And the qualities of the Atma are God. So the Atma Pradeshas are Shiv. And the qualities of the Atma are the Shakti. Shiv and Shakti. Without the Shaktis, the Shiv is Shava. Without the sweetness, the sugar is not sugar. Like that you have to understand. Okay. So that doesn't mean they are telling you that don't go to temple and all that. Then little more is there and time is up. We'll have some discussion. You will read the remaining pages and come. All paragraphs are important. I'm tired of talking. So I would like to stop with this and I would like you to take it from here.
Ma'am, just before we finish, in the Friday class, you had talked about the 5 types of Hanuman Gyan.
हाँ, मैं दे दूंगी, आपको दे दूंगी, ध्यान है मुझे. चाहिए तो अभी लिख लो, चाहिए तो अभी लिख लो. Write down. 5 types of Hanuman is Smriti. Shobha madam, you have it in your logic notes. And you are going to study about this in Tatvarth Mani Pradeep in the next semester, next paper.
Okay.
You are going to study in the next paper. Smriti, if you want, you can refer to it. Smriti, chapter 1 of Tatvarth Mani Pradeep. You all have that book. Start reading that book afterwards. Smriti is memory. Pratyabhigyan is recognition. Tarka is reasoning. Anuman is inference. Very, very interesting bit in logic. Anuman is inference. And then Agam. Agam is the scriptures talk about it. So we believe in it. See, Atma is there or not? Do you have memory of it? No. Do we have recognition of it? No. Can we reason and understand Atma? To an extent, yes, but to a greater extent, no.
No.
By Anuman, can a Nigodjiva understand what Atma is?
No.
No memory, no recognition, no reasoning, no mind. How will the 1, 2, 3, 4 sense understand? That's why one has to be a Sangi. He has to have a mind, to apply that mind, to reason and to get the inference, to read the Agam and do Tarka and get inference. So either your past memories you get, Jati Smaran Gyan, for you to understand I am that Atma. Otherwise, read Agam, do Tarka, do Anuman, and then keep it in memory that I am an Atma. Okay, now when you take to Tatvar Sutra, these 5 types of they are all divisions of Mati Gyan only. They all come under Mati Gyan. Applying this Mati Gyan, your Shrut Gyan becomes Shrut Gyan. Okay, now there you have these words, write down. Matihi, Smritihi, Sangya, Chinta, Abhinibodha. Matihi, Smritihi, Sangya, Chinta, Abhinibodha. Matihi, Smritihi, Sangya, Chinta, Abhinibodha. Now, write down the Matihi. Matihi is what? Mati is just application of the buddhi. Mati mari gayi hai. They say no, buddhi brushed ho gayi hai. So mati here refers to manan karna. Manan karna means rationalizing. Smriti is, now match it over there. I told you now 5 division, no? Smriti, you match it. Then second was Pratyabhigyan is Sangya. Tarka is Chinta. And Abhinibodha is Anuman. And leave the Agam part. Okay. So in Dravyanuyo, we will be applying all these. Tarka, Yukti, Hetu, Drishtant, everything. So then you get the understanding of the Dravya as it is.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, that's it from my side. Anything else anybody wants? How was the class?
Ma'am, can I ask you a question, please?
First of all, tell me what you learned today. How was the class? Say thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
ma'am.
ma'am. It was very good. The question has come up because the class was so good and and it has stimulated us to think, actually. This is regarding this Shuddha Upyog you talked about. That I mean, keep doing good, and you know, why you said you keep doing good activities, and then when you do those good activities with equanimity, it becomes a Shuddha Upyog, right?
No. See, I'll tell you one thing. To experience the Shuddhopayog, you have to go to a state of no activity. You have to go to a state of no activity, and that is Samayik.
So that's where I'm coming. This Shuddha Upyog, the next step is Akriya, right? That is not to do anything. But then when we were talking about the 14 characteristics of Tirthankaras, one of them is Prabhavana, right? That is the last.
What 14
where
characters?
he is preaching and
eight of Samyak Darshan. Prabhavana is 8.
One of the 14 characteristics of Tirthankar, one of them last May he has to preach, like.
Where 14? Yeah, where you studied 14? I don't know.
Not 14, I remember reading 14. Anyway, one of them is preaching, no?
Prabhavana.
So when you say Akriya is an important state to reach kind of thing, then doesn't it conflict with this Prabhavana part of it?
I got your question and I'm going to enjoy giving you the answer of it. Now listen to me very carefully. How does that Tirthankar have to do the Prabhavana? What is the technicalities of it? So listen carefully. Okay. One soul, before binding the Tirthankar Namakarma, he is doing the Purusharth of absorbing in the soul. Darshan Vishuddhi Purvak, he is trying to absorb in the soul. But he is not able to absorb completely. Like for example, you go for a movie and you're enjoying the movie and you, for one flash of a second, you feel, oh my God, I should go and tell my family to come and watch this movie. You enjoyed that movie so much that you could not retain that enjoyment and you just wanted to share it with your family or the world or whoever it is. In that moment, when a Tirthankar to be is meditating on the soul and not able to contain himself in it, for a flash of a second, he comes out of it and he wishes that the whole world, Sarva Jeev, should know about this Atma Ka Shasana. In that thought, he binds that Tirthankar Namakarma, because of which he has to live and do the Prabhavana. Okay. So it is a bondage. It is an antray between him and his Keval Gyan. Had he not done this wish, and had he not bound the Tirthankar Namakarma, he would have dived deep into his soul again and got Keval Gyan then and there.
He would have become a Siddha.
He would have become a Siddha in that life itself. But he did this bandha in that Shubha Bhava, which was very highest order Shubha Bhava. So Tirthankar Nama Prakriti is the highest Nama Prakriti that you can bind. He bound that Prakriti. Now that Prakriti is bound means he has to be born again, he has to be a Tirthankar, he has to preach and everything. So that is a Satishay Punya. Extraordinary Punya that makes him do. But even when he's preaching, he knows that he is not talking. He's only enjoying his Keval Gyan from the spiritual point of view. But from the karmic level point of view, it appears that he is preaching and all that. So that is why in the Digambar tradition, they say that Tirthankar is Mokha and the Divya Dhvani Kirti hai.
Exactly.
Because spiritually he is absorbed in that Keval Gyan Swarup Atma. He's enjoying that Keval Gyan Swarup. He intentionally doesn't talk the way you and I talk. If he's intentionally talking, he cannot enjoy the Keval Gyan. You understand? So that way, Prabhavna, now listen to me very carefully. I remember having heard Panditji's lecture. When I say Panditji, I mean Sumat Prakashji. Prakrishta Bhavana is Prabhavna, and that happens inside. So that Tirthankar is Prakrishta Roop se is enjoying the bhav of that Keval Gyan state Atma. So that Prabhavna is happening inside. Externally, that Prabhavna is happening because of the nimit of the Jiva, Sansari Jeev, and the Nama Karma, the Bhasha Vargana Pudgal, and all that is happening also. You understood? Where level ke poito honga question which.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
But where does it
Very intense.
equate to a Kriya, ma'am? Where does it equate to a Kriya?
So Siddha Bhagwan is philosophically, spiritually akriya. Man Vachan Kaya say he is doing nothing, but his karma uday is making him do. But he doesn't have the doership attitude because his mithyatva is gone. His ghati karma are gone. So his ghati karma are gone means he is enjoying that Ananta Chatushtay. Externally, it appears that he is talking and walking and doing everything. He's like a lotus in water, detached. That's why you have that Bhagwan walks on the lotus. That means he is not walking. He's aloof. He appears to be walking, but he's aloof.
So a Kriya done with equanimity, that is in a Vitrag state, is
there you will call Kriya only. There you will call Kriya only. There you will call Kriya only. He's doing the Kriya and all that from Karma angle, Yoga angle. Complete Nishkriyatva will happen in the 14th Gunasthan.
Correct.
But all that complete inactivity of mind, body, speech will happen in the 14th Gunasthan.
But when a Kriya is done with total equanimity, will that be called a Shuddha Upayog?
Shuddha Upayog state is a state of complete inactivity. Write down one line if you want. Akamme janai.
Okay.
Only when you are in a karma state, the Gyayat state will operate. Or cognizance, not operate, the cognizance of the Gyayat state will happen. The Gyayak is there always. But when you're indulging in activity, the Gyayak takes a backseat. So you have the three types of Chetna, no? Jnana Chetna, Karma Chetna, Karma Phala Chetna. So the Karma Chetna is vibrant, means the Jnana Chetna ke upar avaran.
Oh, okay.
Ma'am, when you talked about inactivity, it is both physical as well as mental, right?
Yes. Yeah. Physical, mental, verbal.
Man, Vachan, Kaya.
Yeah.
Beyond Atindri.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, ma'am, in the real sense, then Prabhavna is for the self and not for the others. Is that right?
See, I told you I'm enjoying the movie. So that Prakrishta Bhav is coming inside me. but
Yeah.
I'm not able to contain it, then I come and share with everybody that joy. That also
Right.
amounts to prabhavana. But this
Okay.
prabhavana will lead to karmic bondage, and that internal prabhavana leads to samvarnija.
Right. Thank you, ma'am.
Shubh Asra, here samvarnija.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's it for today.
So the proverb yan perum inbam ivvayagamum pera, that is the happiness that I got, I want to share with the world, is not it's ashrav, right?
Yes, it is bandha. It is a cause of bandha.
So keeping that happiness to oneself is samvarnirjara.
See, I'll tell you one thing. It is not something that you intentionally do it. Sahaj mein, it is spontaneous. Either you keep it or you do it, spontaneously it happens. Krambadha mein, spontaneously it happens. You cannot intentionally do these things. It is not like being rigid, I've got happiness, I'm not going to share it with anyone. Or I've got happiness, I'll share it with everyone. No.
It's like
It
the
happens according to so many factors. You cannot just do it intentionally, these things. Like how a child, it is spontaneous. The activities of childhood are like that. The activities of the soul and these bhav are spontaneous. Now, I'll tell you one thing. The more and more you take to spiritual understanding, and if you are destined to be longer in the world, you will have this bhavana of helping others, taking so many Paramagam classes like Priya ma'am. But if your time period is less to migrate in the world, no, I've understood Atma. Now I'll go and do Samaik, I'll do somewhere, I'll go deep into meditation and I will get Keval Gyan and I'll go. You understood?
You used to say,
if my
ma'am, like
gati is to
material
wander, then my mati will be only talking. But if my gati is to go quickly to moksha, my mati will tell stop talking. So understood, there are so many factors. Yes, that's it for today, friends. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank
Next class onwards, I will take class only up to 8:40. And 8:40 to 9, you have to do the Gandhar. Whatever I have taught, you have to teach again. So I'll request you all to read the pages, listen to the recording, and try to do the Gandhar on these pages in the next class. Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शतबार. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.